Wait. Your referee, Dave will be your umpire. Northwest, you're the visitors. There's your heads, and there's your tails. What's your call? Tails. Hello and welcome to Kapaun Mt Carmel Striker Sports Complex, home of your Crusaders. And the Crusaders are looking to kick off their homestand here tonight after two phenomenal wins on the road. That, of course, includes the thriller last week against East. That come from behind victory that ended a 29-22 win for Kapaun. The opponent here tonight, the Northwest Grizzlies, of course, led by decorated head coach Steve Martin. I'm Gabriel Bryanbach.
I'm Sophie Jamino, and Gabe and I are super pumped to be here tonight. Help family and friends across the country enjoy the show tonight. As you said, Gabe, Northwest is the opponent tonight. They've had major success. Ever since I can remember, last season they were 10-1. Of course, that one loss coming from Mill Valley in the state championship. And this season, they're 1-1, one loss to Carroll, and one win to Heights, 62-40.
And they were, of course, able to make it to that championship game by knocking Kapaun out in that quarterfinal round. And, that loss is still fresh in a lot of the minds of the players on that field. And they're going to be looking to venture a loss here tonight, as well as move up in the G-Wall standings, where I believe they stand at second place right now, right?
Yeah, they just recently moved up to second, sitting right behind Carroll. And of course, that happened due to their win against East last week.
And that comeback was in large part to the defense, who had a phenomenal string of series towards the end of that football game. And they're going to have to keep up that fourth quarter performance if they want to be able to, limit the Grizzlies here tonight. And that's going to be crucial if they want to get a win as well. Sophia, what do you think about the offense last week?
I think last week, offense started again a little slow, but, once they started to pick things up, they had some big passing plays. Two of them, one went to Will Thangvall, who had the game-winning touchdown, helped secure the win, and the other was to Henry Thangvall. And, of course, you can't forget about Kapaun's rushing threat.
That rush attack wasn't far behind them. Had another phenomenal week last week. Of course, the duo is Austin Rue, the senior, and Amari Elias, the sophomore. They combined for over 200 yards. Elias, of course, leading the duo with over 106 yards per game.
And, of course, you can't forget about Isaac Schmitz, utility player for the Crusaders last week, receiving play, just under 80 yards a total for the game. He had a huge play, was a 61-yard passing touchdown reception of the first quarter.
And I've said it before, he really just dominates all three phases of the game. We're excited to see him here tonight. Of course, he comes into this game 8 touchbacks on 14 attempts. That's the percentage you don't usually see. I know.
Exactly.
And now we're going to head to the field. I'm excited to see what the Crusaders can do. Dylan Hamilton, the sophomore QB, he's had a pretty solid start to the season. He had an interception last week. You're going to run into bumps along the road. So what do you think of him so far this season?
Yeah, I talked to him first week, if anyone's tuned into our pregame, and he said he was just excited for this year, the opportunity to be the starter for Kapaun. And he has faith in his teammates to pick him up when things get tough, as we saw last week against East.
And after a loss on the initial play, Ancio able to get the reception for 10 yards. And, Ancio was one of the breakout players last year. Had a phenomenal season. Really started to pick up attention from colleges as well, and we're excited to see what he can do. He hasn't had a whole lot of production this season, but that's mainly because, he's been double-teamed almost every play we have. As Will Doolittle able to take it for about 12 yards. That gives the Crusaders a new set of downs on the northwest side of the field.
Yeah, and as you said, with Will Ancio, defenses are starting to pick up. He's 6'6", 200 pounds. Defenses want to be able to stop him because he's obviously a threat.
And, they're starting to pick up. And one reason he had so many chunk plays last year is because, Sharts maybe lined him up inside and he would send him on a fly route. That's not something you see too often. So that kind of would catch the safeties off guard, mainly because usually the tight end is covered by a linebacker. But Ancio is just too fast for him. And so a lot of defenses run into the issue of, he's too fast for linebackers, but he's too big for safeties. We're going to see what Northwest does here tonight, as Amari Elias able to pick up a 1 on that play. It's 2nd and 9.
Now, Amari Elias having a breakout season. We saw a little bit of him last year as he was playing behind some of the seniors, but this year he's really contributing. He has a total of 212 yards so far this season.
Yeah, former running back Cale Curtis kind of took the ball out of his hands a little bit as he stumbles forward for another pickup of 1.
Ball carrier.
Or excuse me, referee's going to call no gain on that play.
No gain on the play.
And Crusaders facing 3rd and 9.
3rd and 9.
Kapaun really looking to obviously try to run the ball as that's one of their strengths, but every once in a while, they want to change it up and try to keep the defense on their feet.
As Hamilton rolls out of the pocket, gets his fullback, Will Doolittle. Looks like he's going to stumble forward for a couple yards. That's not going to be able to get there. And that's going to be 4th and 8. And it looks like Kapaun is going to stay on the field. Excuse me, my apologies. Looks like Kapaun's going to punt. Probably the smart decision. We are on northwest side of the field, but it's early in the game. You don't want to risk too much.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, as last week, as we saw, it took them a little bit to get going. Of course, a lot of new players on this team this year, so they just got to get warmed up and see what the defense is giving them, and next possession, see what they can do.
Isaac Smith's been working on his pooch punt. Let's see what he can do here. He has a high punt, bounces around the 15-yard line, and looks to roll out of bounds at around the 17-yard line. And now we're going to see the Northwest offense for the first time here tonight. Of course, star quarterback Jeremiah Moore, the signal caller.
Yeah, we saw a lot of Jeremiah Moore last year when we played them, and he really is a rushing threat. So far, Gabe, this season, off of 2 games, he has a total of 404 rushing yards. So Kapaun's defense got to look out for him.
And, I believe he had a couple fumbles against Carroll as a pass down the middle is caught by Michael Lopez Jr. for Northwest. That is a big pickup. And that moves the Grizzlies all the way to the 45-yard line.
On the defense.
Big chunk play, and Kapaun's kind of caught on their toes here. Let's see what they can do.
48-yard line.
Now it looks like
moved up to the 48-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like Northwest also is playing some ready offense, trying to catch the defense off guard.
As LJ Phillips gets under a pick of 8. And Phillips is going to be a pretty big threat here. I mean, he was already a threat last year, but he's pretty much the sole running back in the Northwest offense. They like to change in some people.
8 of 6.
Jeremy Thompson is one person they like to swap in, but he's the main person. As Thompson able to stumble forward for about a gain of 3. Looks like it's still going to be
Thompson, the ball carrier.
Both Thompson and Phillips have over 350 yards this year, so both will be a big threat.
And, as I was saying earlier, as Jeremiah Moore, I mean, it wasn't just him, but a couple fumbles, I believe 4, in the Carroll game were the main reason they lost. The fact that they were able to keep it within a touchdown after 4 turnovers,
Phillips, the ball carrier.
That should tell you something about how good they are. I mean, they did lose, and they did give up those turnovers. If you're able to keep it close after that, that many setbacks, it tells you how good they are. And that's why I believe that Northwest is actually better than Carroll, but we'll see after this game.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, too, with their first game, obviously they had some first game jitters, making some mistakes, but it'll just make Northwest offense, clean up the mistakes and just learn from them and get better.
As Moore gets a swing pass out to Lopez Jr., who was eventually brought down after
to Lopez,
the first down. Tackle made by Isaac Smith.
Schmitz. Gain is inside the 30, 1st and 10 at the 28.
And Northwest is moving here. 1st and 10 inside the Kapaun 30. Looking dangerous as Phillips able to get about 12 yards on that carry. And the Kapaun defense is really going to have to step it up. And now let him get into that second level. Because we know that if he gets into that second level, he's deadly.
Yeah, exactly. Especially the Northwest offense is the key here.
From the end of the run,
I've seen.
First down.
Oh, I guess we have a penalty here,
That's
but
going to be on junior Dominic Shibley. It looks like that's going to move the Northwest offense to have to go. That puts them at the 9-yard line.
As I was saying earlier, their offense, that's a key aspect of their game because there's a fumble.
On 1st and goal, the Kapaun defense able to come up with a big play. A fumble gives the Kapaun offense a chance to strike back. And that drive was looking dangerous, so I'm glad that Kapaun defensive line was able to step up and get the turnover.
I think that's important. I was talking to Isaac Schmitz the other day. He told me one of the main things they're focusing on is trying to force the other team to make mistakes. So obviously Northwest is a solid team, but if they can cause them to make some mistakes, Kapaun is able to stay in it.
First and 10, Kapaun
And
at the
credit
7.
that fumble recovery to senior Jacob Weta, the nose tackle. Now Hamilton hands it off to Doolittle, and it looks like he fumbles the ball, but is able to jump on top of it. That's going to result in a loss of 2, and Kapaun's inside their 10 for 2nd and 12.
Loss of
at
2
the
on
5.
the play. 2nd and 12.
See if Kapaun can get some things going.
As Hamilton drops back, he has Dingwall for the 20-yard recovery. Great snag there by Dingwall.
Hamilton's pass.
You know, one of
Incomplete pass. Incomplete pass. 3rd down.
Check that.
excuse me,
Ruled incomplete.
the referee is going to signal that
3rd and 12.
Dingwall bobbled the catch. The Kapaun student section, along with the side, are not happy about that one. And I don't have an explanation for that. I mean, it looked like he, got a firm grip on the ball and brought it in, but referee signals them to completion. That brings Kapaun to 3rd and 12 at their own 5. But, as I was saying before I got called back, Kapaun has a lot of tall receivers. I mean, Will Ancio and the Dingwall brothers, they're all 6'2 plus. So, Hamilton really has a great opportunity just being able to throw it up, and most of the time, the wide receivers are able to go up there and bring it down. Hamilton once again drops back, swing past to Isaac Smits, who was brought down in the backfield. And Smits doesn't think he was down, but the play is called dead.
Hamilton's pass is complete to Schmitz.
Kapaun's going to have to punt it here, only 4 yards from the goal line.
And Smits, after getting that reception, is going to have to punt at the very back of his end zone.
Direct on the defense that time for the Grizzlies. Schmitz back to punt.
Smits trying to stay in bounds. And this is a dangerous position because he doesn't have a whole lot of room between him and the Northwest defense. Punt is up. Looks to be good. High. And fair catch signaled for and caught at about the 45-yard line of Kapaun.
Kapaun back on defense here. Hopefully, obviously trying to look to cause some more mistakes. Just stay solid.
At the Kapaun 45,
And
first and
honestly,
10.
just stay on top of it, because as we've seen, Northwest is moving pretty quickly.
And they're not going to be able to rely on the defense to keep getting these turnovers. So the offense is going to have to, win that field possession battle a little bit more. As Moore drops back, looks to the near sideline. And that is caught by Salisbury and brought down by a combination of Nathan Fury and Luke Porter.
Salisbury Smith on the reception. Gain of 8, 2nd and 2.
2nd and 3 now for the Northwest offense as flag is thrown before the snap. It looks like Northwest is going to call for a false start. That pushes them back to 2nd and 8. Now let's see if Kapaun can get maybe a stop here and set them up for a 3rd and long.
Number 58, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Northwest obviously needs to limit the mistakes. Obviously Kapaun wants to force the mistakes, but Northwest, they want to come out with this win, have to limit them and just play their game.
Now Jeremiah Moore, no one in the backfield with him. Looks to the far sideline and is brought down in the backfield by John Paul Wren. Benjamin Saluki not far behind him.
Great sack.
And that was exactly what the Kapaun defense needed to do on that play. Northwest offense now facing a 3rd and 17.
And 17.
It's finally good to see Kapaun's defense get a sack, because last week against East, their quarterback was really jukey, and none of Kapaun's defenders seemed to tackle him, but this is a great sack.
And one of the reasons that East had such an easy time on offense is that that quarterback had way too much time to throw the ball. And it's good to see, like you said, Kapaun's going to be applying much more pressure here tonight. Now Moore drops back, tosses it to Phillips. Phillips looking for an open field, looks to get it, still stumbling forward, and doesn't quite make it to the 1st down. We'll see what the referee says.
Phillips on the carry, brought down by Spires.
He was able to stumble pretty far there, able to break a couple tackles.
Holding.
And flag called on the play.
Number 13.
Offense is called for holding. It looks like Northwest is now going to face as 3rd.
Still 3rd down.
And very long, 3rd and 26
Make it 3rd and 26.
is what the referee says.
Northwest probably going to have to throw it here unless Phillips or Thompson is able to get a big run, but as you see trips on this near side.
And I mean, I still wouldn't be surprised if Northwest wants to do kind of a halfback draw just to get Phillips into the open field and see what he can do. As Phillips switches sides, and now Jeremiah drops back, pressure coming, and it looks like that pass is going to be out of bounds. He was looking for Phillips on that play, but now 4th and 26, looks like Northwest is going to punt.
4th down.
So far, the game's been back and forth, you know. No one's been able to score yet. We're just seeing a lot of Northwest defense, a lot of Kapaun's defense, or Northwest offense, excuse me, and Kapaun's defense, and hopefully Kapaun is able to get something going here on offense.
Jeremiah Moore, the punter. Punt is up, and it looks to be going out of bounds. Excuse me, bounces around the 32 and rolls all the way to the Kapaun 20.
Rolls dead at the 20.
A nice bounce there. Helps the Northwest Grizzlies push Kapaun back to their own 20. Let's see what the Kapaun offense can do. Still 0-0 here with 4 minutes left to go in the first. And I'm excited to see what the Kapaun offense does after maybe not the most successful drive. A lot of that was in part to a bad, maybe not a bad call, but a questionable call. Let's see what the Kapaun offense does now. Hamilton takes a snap. Play action, keeps it for himself. Able to stumble forward, is brought down hard.
Hamilton on the carry.
Good read there by Hamilton. Yeah, good read. Decided not to hand it off, keep it for himself, and he was able to get a couple yards.
And you know,
gain of 7,
this isn't entirely a bad thing, but Hamilton does kind of have a wider frame, which makes him susceptible to big plays like that, where the defensive lineman can kind of pick him up and do whatever he wants. But it's good to see that he's not afraid of that. He's still able to get into the open field and make something happen.
Yeah, and he uses his speed and his jukes to be able to get some yards.
Hand off to Amari Elias, who refuses to go down and stumbles forward for the first.
Amari Elias on the carry.
Great completion by Hamilton there, just quick handoff. Hard for the defense to even see it coming.
Down by Derek
And that
Robinson.
12-yard carry by Amari
First and 10,
Elias
Kapaun
gives
at
Kapaun
the
a
38.
set it down to their 38-yard line. Excuse me. Looks like Kapaun offense is awaiting Sharks to signal. Now Hamilton goes under center. In the I formation, you know, this is a very popular formation with Sharks. You know, you have your 2 backs in the backfield, and then you have 1 receiver to this near sideline or the opposite sideline, depending on the play. As Elias once again refusing to go down, stumbles forward for another first down.
Elias using his strength
Elias on
there
the
and just
carry.
keeps pushing forward and able to get these
Finally
first
brought
downs.
down by Harris. Gain is good enough for a first
And
down. First and 10,
Kapaun offense is
Crusaders
really,
at the 48.
An important part of this game, an important part of any football game, is to be in control of the rush attack. Whichever team is, you know, pounding the ball, usually is the team that's coming out on top. So it's good to see that Kapaun is trying to, you know, develop the run game and, you know, make that a focal point of this game.
Yeah, and their rush threat has been working well so far this season, as we've seen with all the wins.
As Hamilton, handoff to Doolittle, or no, excuse me, Hank Orth in on that.
Henry Crispin on the carry.
Or no, excuse me, once again, Henry
He was brought
Crispin,
down by Willie
sophomore.
Howard. Gain of
Yeah,
1,
that carry.
2nd and 9.
Forgive us if we mess up some numbers. Kapaun's kind of been switching them around. It looks like they finally got the final roster, and we're just not getting it. As Hamilton drops back, looks at the near sideline for Thingvall. Able to make a man miss, goes in Northwest territory with that reception.
to Henry Thingvall.
Gives Kapaun another set of downs.
Nice little slant there ran by Henry
Brought down
Thingvall,
by Ben
able to get a good catch and
First and
get
10 at the
10 or so
Northwest
more
35.
yards on that play.
Hamilton soaking to the sideline. You know, we saw a little bit from Will Ancio early on in the game. He had that 8-yard reception, I believe it was. I'm excited to see what he can do later in the game. I mean, the rush attack is, of course, working now. But, you know, later in the game when the defense starts to get tired, that's when you see those big passing plays. You know, I'd like to see Ancio be a part of that. As Mario Elias stumbles forward for that gain of 1.
Yeah, and Ancio, obviously,
Elias on the
so
carry.
far this year, not getting as many
Wrapped up by
catches,
Caden Ross.
but his blocking
Gain of 1,
is
2nd and 9.
phenomenal. You know, able to help with Kapaun's running offense.
You know, that was one thing that he really focused on in the offseason, putting in a lot of hours on the field to develop those skills like blocking and just overall playmaking in the open field as Doolittle makes a man miss. Or better yet, makes him, just throws him off and
down out of bounds,
charges forward
pushed out by
for about 12 yards.
Sandoval.
First and 10 now.
That's good for a first
At the
down.
Northwest
First and 10 from the
21-yard line.
Northwest 21.
And, you know, Kapaun on the fringe of the red zone for the first time here tonight. And, you know, the Kapaun student section really liking it.
Yeah, it looks like the SLU members trying to get the freshmen hyped up. You know, freshmen and sophomores, it's their first time being able to go to football games because of COVID last year. So a lot of them getting to enjoy this game experience, and it's great. The team is looking great, so it's fun to be here.
And that's going to end the first quarter. Score still 0-0. But, you know, overall, even though there weren't any points scored, I think that was a pretty solid drive for Kapaun to end the first. And then overall, great just first effort there for Kapaun. Start off the game.
Yeah, started a little slow with having to punt twice, but once they get rolling, Gabe. Starting with the running, just driving down the field slowly but surely, and they should be looking to set up for a touchdown here.
And I think that's best, the best example of that was first week's win against, I believe it was South High. You know, that game ended in a fork fit in the third quarter because Kapaun was up 55-0 as the ranks started coming. So South, you know, they discussed, you know, maybe moving the game to the next day, but South didn't want any part of that, and they just kind of resigned.
I also think that first win game boosted the confidence for this team. Kind of a younger team, as we have Dylan Hamilton, only a sophomore as a starting quarterback. Some other younger players here, and because last year was a heavily senior-oriented team. So this year, I think for these lower or underclassmen, it's great to have that confidence boost.
And you know, a big part of Schwartz's system is to develop players. I mean, we saw it a little bit last year, as you said. I mean, there was a lot more senior play, but he tried to use underclassmen as much as possible. And we see it again here, even tonight. I mean, we see Crispin coming in.
On 2nd and 9.
I mean, he's taking the place of Will Doolittle, who's already had a great game so far. And so seeing him come in is, you know, kind of shocking. But, you know, Schwartz wants to develop these young players. As on 2nd and 9, Elias stumbles forward for another 1-yard gain.
Yeah, and exactly as we were talking about Schwartz and developing players, it's important to grow a culture, you know, of just working hard, getting 1% better every day, and also with these young players, he's trying to prepare for the future.
Now Hamilton takes a snap. Looks his near sideline again. Henry Thangol drags it in. But it looks like he lost his footing. He's not going to be able to get to the first down marker.
Ambulance pass complete to Henry
spots
Thangol.
it. It looks like it's going to be 4th and 2.
Harris on
and
the
it looks like Schwartz is going to keep his boys on the field.
Going to be 4th and 2.
Want to get some points on the scoreboard here. They've made it this far. Might as well go for it.
You know, we see Will Doolittle coming back in. I think that this might be a guess, but I think that we might see a fullback dive here. And you know, senior Bates last year, Doug Bates, he was kind of like the fullback role, and he was really that power rusher for Kapaun Mt. Carmel. It looks like Will Doolittle is going to take that role over here in the 2021 season. And
Kapaun takes their first time out.
Kapaun's going to take their first time out of the game. You know, maybe Schwartz is reconsidering the 4th down.
I mean, it still is pretty early, just started the second quarter, and since Northwest has no points so far, not a ton of pressure for Kapaun to score here. Obviously, it would be great to go for it. And if you think about it, even if we go for it, don't get it, still Northwest, great position for Kapaun's defense.
And you know, it doesn't look like we're going to do it here, but we do have Isaac Smith, who has proven in the last season that he can place kick. So don't be surprised, you know, maybe later in the game when Kapaun's in need of points and they're in the red zone, they might turn to him to knock down a couple field goals. But it looks like here, Schwartz going to keep his offense out in the field, and going to try to fight forward for those extra 2 yards. I formation, it looks like, with Henry Thingable here on this near sideline. And you know, Northwest usually sticks with that 5-2 defense. That's kind of their base set, but it looks like they're, you know, putting a little bit more pressure on the line here. As Hamilton hands it off to Mario Elias, who fights forward, stumbles,
Keeps
and gets
going.
the first down. Fights forward to about the Northwest 4 or 5 yard line, and that is exactly what the Kapaun offense needs to do there.
Elias, they're doing a great job of reading the gap and shooting it. You know, he didn't just right ahead, put his head down, go straight. He was able to read the gap and find an opening.
And, you know, being able to stay upright, that's a lot more powerful position when you just charge ahead with your helmet first. As it looks like Hamilton fumbles the ball at the 6 yard line. Caven players are signaling that it's theirs.
Quarterback keeper, he recovered his own fumble.
And it looks like Hamilton was able to recover his own fumble. It's going to be a loss of 3, and it sets up 3rd and goal from the 8. Second and goal on from the 8.
Good recovery there, but looks like Jackson Daniel is going in now. Number 1, the freshman QB.
Please put 40 on the play clock.
And it looks like there's going to be an injury timeout. Looks like Hamilton's going to be sitting on the bench for a while. Elias heading off the field as well, and it looks like Nathan Fury coming in for him.
Hamilton there, as I saw, looking to hit Ancio, but 3 guys on him, so he's going to have to take and run it, but unfortunately fumbled it.
Yeah, it's just a nothing downfield, but in that scenario, you might just want to throw it away. You know, not risk the fumble or an interception. Hank Orth, the sophomore, also heading onto the field for Caven, so let's see what happens. Quarterback keeper doesn't go very far.
Jackson Daniel came in.
Maybe a game of 1. And Jackson Daniel, I mean, we saw him a little bit against South when we were up big.
A couple, 3rd and goal from the 6.
Yeah, only a freshman, so just showing how young this team is again. And he actually is Mr. Ogier, or one of the coaches too, his grandson.
And it looks like Hamilton's going to come back into the game after catching his breath. You know, maybe he just needed a moment to collect himself and charge. Maybe want to have a few words with him after that fumble. We'll see what he can do now. Hamilton in the gun for 3rd and goal. Hamilton fakes the handoff, keeps for himself, isn't going to make it there. Looks to get up to about the 3 yard line.
On the quarterback.
It's going to be 4th and goal.
Tackled that time by Ross.
And it looks like Isaac Smits, the kicker, is going to come on for an attempted field goal.
On the try the field goal is Isaac Smits.
Yeah, it's important. You know, obviously they weren't able to score this possession, so it's important to get some points on the board. And we're looking for Isaac Schmitz to make this.
Hasn't attempted a field goal yet this year. But is perfect on PATs, excluding that bad snap against South. All off the upright, and that's not going to go through.
Kick is no good.
Smith showing obvious disappointment there, throwing his tee back onto the sideline, but you know, maybe that Anger's going to fuel himself on defense.
Yeah, it looked like number 27, Ben Heidenbrecht, was able to kind of get in Isaac's face there. I'm not sure if he tipped it at all or not, but obviously that threw Isaac off a little bit.
And it looks like they're going to signal that that's going to be a touchback for Northwest, and they're going to get at their 20-yard line. Northwest, Jeremiah Moore hands off. Fakes the handoff, keeps for himself, brought down by Isaac Smits.
Quarterback keeper by Moore, brought down by Isaac Smits.
And you know, Isaac Smits obviously showing a little bit of frustration there, but you know, he's a calm player. I feel like he's going to be able to gather himself and become the best player he can.
1st and 10 from the 35.
Yeah, it's good though. When you get a little fire in your belly, get a little mad, makes you make big plays.
And if you're just now joining us, about 7 minutes, we'll have to go in the second quarter. And the score still 0-0 as a LJ Phillips run is ended. After about 1 yard, good stop there by the Cape
Short gain
defensive
on the
line.
play. Will Doolittle and the rest of the interior of the line on the stop.
Ben Zawuduke running off the field now.
2nd and 9.
Northwest obviously trying to get some points on the board in this possession. Look at the throw here.
Dropped pass. Looks like it was intended for
Pass intended for
Salisbury.
Smith, incomplete. It's 3rd and 9.
Now it's going to be 3rd and 9 for the Northwest Grizzlies on the Cape and 36-yard line. Cape looking to get a stop here. Looks to be in the nickel package. Fake handoff to Jeremiah
Gonna keep
Moore,
it again.
and now he's in the open field. Looks like he's going to be brought down by Isaac Smits once again.
Jeremiah Moore.
There's
on the
just an
quarterback
example
keeper.
of Jeremiah Moore's speed.
Wrestled down
He's just able to find the
by
gap and
Schmitz.
keep running. And, you know, he's not the
Gain into
biggest
Cape
dude, but he's
territory.
small and
1st and
quick.
10 from the 40.
And you know, any of these Northwest runners are going to be dangerous when they break into that second level. Those linebackers have got to do a good job of limiting those second level runs, like there with Will Doolittle getting that stop.
Thompson, the ball carrier.
Gain of about 4 on that play. It's going to be 2nd and 6
Brought down by Doolittle.
on the Cape
Doolittle.
on the Cape and
Gain of
36 yard line.
5. Check that. Gain of 4. 2nd and 6.
Cape and defense really needed to buckle down here and try to get a stop.
Jeremiah Moore hands off to Phillips. Phillips fights forward and looks to be brought down before the first down marker. Referees are going to signal for a first
Phillips on
down.
the carry.
Northwest moving fairly quickly here.
Turner on the tackle.
You know, it only takes one play. Let's see if the Cape defense can step it up here. As looks like Thompson able to stumble forward for about 11 yards.
Thompson.
And Thompson's more of that
Taking
power
the
back
Grizzlies for
kind of
first down.
stereotype. He's able to break a few tackles. It isn't easy to bring down. That's why he's able to get that run there.
Murray on the
As
tackle.
Moore keeps for himself once again. This time, however, Schmitz is able to get some help from the linebackers
More
as he
keeper.
brings them down.
Yeah, Northwest
Schmitz
here,
on the stop.
trying as they made a few mistakes in the first quarter, they're trying to limit their mistakes, just
2nd and
run the
7.
ball, play solid offense.
Jeremiah Moore once again joined the backfield by Thompson and Phillips. Looks like a flag is thrown on his near sideline before the ball was snapped.
Encroachment, defense, number 6, 5-yard penalty.
Louis
Still
Frawley
second
is going to
down.
be called for encroachment. That moves the Northwest offense to the Cape and 8-yard line, gives them a 2nd and 2 now. And now LJ Phillips rushes forward to about the 2-yard line at Capen. And their Capen defense is going to have to do something now.
Yeah, hopefully
goal
you're going to have to
Northwest.
bank on Northwest making a
Phillips on the
mistake,
carry. Good
or
for a
else
first down.
it looks
It's
like
1st
the
and goal,
Grizzlies might
Northwest.
score here.
And you know, they don't really necessarily need a mistake. That is a mistake right there. And Jeremiah Moore is going to be brought down after he enters the end zone, but it looks like a flag in the backfield.
More in the end zone, but
And I'm
flags on the play.
going to say somewhat confidently here that this is coming back after a holding penalty.
I would agree, Gabe. Looked like something was going on there.
Offense, number 58, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat, first down.
There we go. Capen banked on them making a mistake. That might see Northwest, if they want to, score here,
It's going to be a lot more
have a
goals.
chance of winning the game. They got to stop making mistakes.
And now that was Jacob Lamb on the holding
Capen
penalty.
takes their second timeout of the half.
And Charge is going to take his second time out of the half to regroup his defense.
Yeah, and defensive coordinator Coach Stevens doing a great job with his team, making sure they just stay solid. Obviously sometimes Northwest has really good runners, so they're going to get through the gaps, but have the secondary be able to stop them and tackle them.
The Cape students are actually trying to get the defense going here with some, let's just say, loud chants.
And of course, with the student section back, I feel like that contributes to the game. Last year, not as much energy for the players to feel. It's hard. It's just a part of the culture of the game, so it's really cool to see all these Kapaun students back here.
But you know, that's not limited to the home games. Kapaun students are known for traveling however far they need to support the Crusaders. Both teams now heading back from their separate sidelines. And it looks like Northwest is still going to have a first and goal, but it's going to be from their, from Kapaun 15-yard line. Jeremiah Moore with running back on either side of him. Keeps it for himself. And it's brought down in the backfield. First hit was Nathan Fury, and it looks like
on the carry.
John Paul Ray was there to clean up.
It's second and goal from the
Defensive
16.
line doing a great job there. They know they can't let Moore, Phillips,
Nathan
Thompson,
Fury on the
anyone
tackle
get
that time.
through them.
It looks like Salisbury's going to come back onto the field for Northwest. Moore drops back, has a man in the end zone, and it looks like Dominic Shibley's going to call for PI.
Moore's pass intended for Bell. Penalty
And
on
you
the
know,
play.
Dominic Shibley's still getting used to being under the lights. You know,
Pass
questionable
interference,
call there, but
defense,
you really,
number 3.
when you're
Half the
defending
distance to the
one,
goal, still second
defending a
down.
receiver one-on-one, you really need to make an effort to turn around and make a play on the ball, because if you don't make a play on the ball, the referee's going to have to throw a flag.
Yeah, and of course it's Dominic Shibley's first game starting, so as you said, just trying to get into the game, get some experience. Of course, you're going to see those mistakes, but he'll definitely learn from it.
From the 9.
And you know he's getting the start because Nathan Thingvall sprained his ankle last night at practice, and he's not going to be playing for at least 2 weeks. As LJ Phillips rushes his way into the end zone, that's going to be the first touchdown of the game. Makes it 6-0 for Northwest.
Touchdown Northwest. LJ Phillips on the carry.
Northwest able, despite their mistakes, able to get that touchdown there, happy to get some points on the board. However, Kapaun's defense, going to work on it for the next possession, and their offense is going to have to step it up.
Braden Suter on for the extra point. And referee's going to
Suter
come
on
together
to try the extra point.
real fast. Everything's ready to go now, and it looks like Suter's going to line up for his kick. Jeremiah Moore on to hold. And it's just going to eke over the crossbar.
Kick is good.
That's going to be good.
4:13 left in the first half.
With
Northwest
4:13 left to go in the
7-0.
first half. Score's now 7-0 Northwest. Kapaun's offense is going to have to come out swinging if they want to head in halftime, at least tied.
Yeah, looking to score here because Northwest is going to get the ball after halftime. Kapaun started with it, so really need to try to get a score here, able to tie it up, entering into halftime.
And now Suter on once again to kick off. First time we'll be seeing him tonight.
Braden Suter on the kickoff.
And Luke Porter along with Austin Ruda, senior pairing, back to return.
Both of those guys have amazing speed. I think they're
Porter and
perfect
Austin Ruda back
for
Kapaun.
receiving the kickoff.
Short, high kick. Buffed by Kapaun, but Luke Porter able to recover it.
Porter on the recovery.
And, that's just poor communication. You got to talk to your
Kapaun,
teammates
first and 10.
say, I got it or you got it, or you just got to communicate.
Yeah, it looks like Chrisman and Aruda there had, as you were saying, a
Maybe get the drive from
miscommunication,
their
but
28-yard line.
still all right. 28-yard.
And, that's why
28-yard line. So
that's why you have two returnmen. If one's there to mess up, if the other one, one's there to recover if the other one messes up.
yeah, as we saw Luke Porter able to follow the ball there.
And now Amari Elias takes the handoff, not going down. Gets about a 20-yard carry there. Fights forward at about the 48-yard line.
Amari Elias on the
Just
carry,
what
brought
Kapaun
down by
needed, a
Sandoval.
big play there, get their momentum going, get that confidence back up.
Gain right to the 50.
And I know the Kapaun student section felt that one.
22
Looks like the
on
referee's
the
going to spot
carry.
right at midfield
First
for
and
first and
10.
10. See what the Crusaders can do. Hamilton under center. Takes a snap. But as the ball is snapped, flag by the referee, and he's going to signal false start.
False start, offense, number 33, 5-yard penalty, Still first down.
Both teams making some mistakes here. Definitely a faster
First
paced
and
game.
15, Kapaun.
Not really sure.
I don't know who that was because
Yeah.
there's no 33 on the field. But apparently number 33 was, moving when he was supposed to. So now a handoff to Ruda. Ruda up the middle. Fights forward to the original first down marker.
First time seeing Ruda with the ball tonight. We've seen him primarily on defense.
Austin
Another
Ruda
quick,
on the carry.
small dude. Helps with the running threat.
Gain of 5, second and 10.
And he might be getting the ball a little less with Elias back there with him, but he's still there to take advantage of the opportunities he's given. Hamilton drops back, looks at the far sideline for Henry Thingvoll this time, and he gets the first down. Solid 12-yard
Hamlin's pass
recovery.
complete to Henry Thingvoll.
Reception by Henry Thingvoll.
Gain to the
Cape
38
looking,
of
they'll
Northwest.
run it a few plays, Gabe, and then try to throw the defense off by throwing it.
Has a first and
And
10 from
being
there.
able to use
On the
Henry
defensive
Thingvoll
time,
a lot
the
this
tackle
game.
was Heiderecht.
Keeping offense away in the call from Sharts. Looks like Hamilton's going to line up in the gun with a running back on either side of him. And another handoff to Ruda up the middle. Able to break back to the far sideline. Gets a few extra yards because of it.
Ruda.
That's going to set Cape up with a second and
Tackled
short.
by Heiderecht.
And now they're marching.
Gain of 9.
Great
second and
read
1.
there by Ruda. Looked to the left, didn't see any opportunity, so Ryan was able to get nice yardage.
Ruda staying in the game. Hamilton coming on in the same formation. Now, handoff to Doolittle, who's nearly brought back in the backfield, but looks like he got to the line of scrimmage.
Ball carrier that time.
Or excuse me, referee's going to signal a gain of 1. That brings up 3rd and 1
No
now for the
gain.
Crusaders.
3rd and 1.
And the get loud or go home slogan looks to be sticking with the Cape and Steelers section. I myself am a big fan of it.
I am as well, Gabe. I think, why even come to the game?
As Elias,
There we go. Get loud.
Elias again refusing to go down and stumbled forward about 7 yards in the first down.
Elias, first down.
Elias having a
Crusaders.
great half so
Ross on
far.
the tackle.
Was able to stay up, Defense isn't able to bring him down.
And after seeing him these first 2 weeks, he's really going to be the workhorse back for the Crusaders. Hamilton now coming on the I formation. Another handoff to Elias, who breaks through the hole and fights for another 5-yard carry.
Elias having some good stamina here.
Mario Elias
Play
on
after
the
play,
carry.
still able to
Robinson
give it his all.
On the tackle for Northwest.
Now
Gain
second
of
and 5.
5. Second and 5.
With about a minute 15 left to go in the half. So Cape's going to have to make something happen here as they hurry to the line and get it to Elias once again, who again stiff arms a man and fights forward about 10 yards. Brought down around the 5-yard line for a carry of 13.
Getting closer and closer. Let's see if
Elias on the carry for
Capet's able to
Capon.
seal the deal this time and get a touchdown.
Excuse me, he's going to be signaled out back to
First
the
and
7-yard
goal
line
at the
with
7-yard
first and
line.
goal and the clock stopped at 1:05. The clock being stopped gives Sharts a chance to communicate with his players, even if it is from the sideline. Let's see what he does. Hamilton approaching the line of scrimmage. Takes a snap. Fakes the handoff to Elias. Has Doolittle. And Doolittle's going to be brought down after a gain of about 2, but there's a flag called on the play.
Hamlin's pass complete to Doolittle. Flag on the play.
And this isn't looking good for Capen. Capen already mounted
Handling.
back, and it looks like it's been holding.
Offense, number 72, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Still first down.
Holding's going to be called on Johnny Jabara, the senior. That pushes Capen back all the way to the 19-yard line for first and goal.
Yeah, still first down, but under a minute left to go. Capen really needs to score here.
With 3 receivers, Hamilton looks at far sideline, has Thingvoll up the middle for the touchdown.
Henry Thingvoll with the touchdown.
Thingvoll absolutely makes his man forget where he is. Able to break back towards the middle, and Hamilton has him up the middle. I keep saying middle, but that's where he was for the touchdown.
Henry just able to juke his guy out to the left, cut to the middle, get a nice touchdown.
The senior able to get Capen on the board now, 6 of 7
Isaac Schmitz on for the extra point.
And Isaac Schmitz, after missing the field goal, looking to make up for it here with an extra point. As we said earlier, he's perfect suing that failed PAT. As the kick is up.
That is good.
And good.
Kick is good. We're all tied up 7-all.
You know, it makes me really happy.
2 seconds left before half.
I mean, Kapaun wait until last minute in the second quarter, get a score, but now they got it tied up. I mean, what a great way to end that possession.
And, you know, Kapaun's going to be giving the Grizzlies back the ball with about a minute left, so, I mean, that's not too late to make something happen. That's a good position to be in if you're the Crusaders.
Now it looks like Grizzlies are going to have to look to throw this last possession if they want to have a chance of scoring. Obviously, if they could get a big break on the run, that would be great, but then the clock would keep running.
KMC still waiting to go onto the field. And here they come. Isaac Schmitz, of course, 8 touchbacks on 14 attempts. Once again, very solid. Never seen in high school, hardly ever.
Let's see, Kapaun's defense here are going to have to stay solid for this last minute.
Schmitz signals, and now the kick is up. Short, high kick. Fielded by Bell. Bell makes a few men miss, gets to the open field, and is brought down at about the northwest 38-yard line.
Randall Bell on the return.
That knocked a few seconds off the clock, so there's going to be 45 seconds left for the Grizzlies to make something happen.
West takes over first and 10.
Secondary really needs to
39.
watch out here. Can't let anything get past them.
And you know, maybe some of them are starting to get a little bit relaxed. I mean, it's almost a half. You can't do that. That's when a lot of big plays happen. So let's see what the Kapaun defense can do here. Jeremiah Moore in the gun with Phillips on his side. Keeps it for himself. And is brought down in the backfield.
Moore on the keeper.
Turner coming in for that middle linebacker spot. Able to bring him down.
Adrian Turner on
This
the
is
tackle
his,
for a loss.
his first
Second
season
and
under the
12.
lights, really. He got a few snaps last year at middle linebacker, but the junior really showing out here early on.
Yeah, great play by Turner.
Swing pass to Lopez. Lopez able to get a big gain for the first down, but that's gonna
Moore's pass is
signal out of
complete
bounds, so it is
to
gonna stop the
Lopez.
clock, but there's only 15 seconds remaining in the half.
First down. First and 10.
If
from the
Northwest is
Kapaun
able
45.
to score here, even maybe
Check
get a
that
field
46.
goal, that sets them up good for the second half, considering they'll get the ball again.
Now Jeremiah Moore gets the snap, fakes the handoff to Phillips. Pressure coming in from Doolittle, and he's chased out of the pocket by Ancio now, and then eventually chased out of bounds with 8 seconds on the clock.
Jeremiah
Doolittle
Moore on the
barely
scramble, out of bounds.
unable to grab him there. But there is a flag thrown. Looks to be after the play was over.
Let's see what the refs say here.
Conferring with each other. Still waiting for the white cap to give us the official ruling. It looks like Ancio is going to be heading off the field here with Jacob Werney.
Let's see what they're
Two
called.
fouls in the play, both by the defense. Holding, defense, number 3, 10
Dominic.
yards from the end of the run. After the play, personal foul, late hit out of bounds. Number 4, 15 yards from that spot. Brings up first down for Northwest.
So,
Kapaun,
committing a double penalty, which is rarely seen in football, but it's going to be a compound yardage gain of 25 yards. First penalty was on Dominic Shibley, called for holding, and the second one was a late hit out of bounds. That was on Nathan Fury. And now it looks like Northwest is going to be inside the Kapaun 20-yard line for first and 10. Now
throws it up.
Dominic Shibley able to make it up here with
Moore's
a
pass intended for
deflection
Brown,
there.
incomplete.
Now 3 seconds left to go. You know, as a big play by Shibley there, knocked the ball out of the receiver's hand in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, Kapaun with those 2 mistakes just gotta forget about it. just trying to stop Northwest with these last 3 seconds.
It looks like they're not getting a chance to as Shooter comes onto the field for approximately a 35-yard attempt. Kick is up, has a distance, and it's going to be good. That's going to end the half, and Northwest is going to go into halftime up 3, score 10-7.
Kapaun 7.
And you know, that's not how we wanted the half to end. You know, penalties didn't help with that. You know, solid half there by the Kapaun offense and defense. You know, defense able to cause that turnover, and the offense able to get that touchdown late in the half. But overall, solid play by Kapaun, and they're going to look to, you know, continue on as they head to the locker room.
Yeah.
And we're going to join you for the second half here in about 15 minutes.
See you guys in a bit. Good job, Gabe.
We'd like to congratulate the varsity and JV soccer teams for last night's win over Wichita West. It was 6-0 in both games. Also like to congratulate our 2021-2022 National Merit semifinalists and Hispanic scholars. National Merit semifinalists are Samuel Calderon and Patrick Olson. Hispanic scholars are Samuel Calderon, Sean Chavez, Ventatino Delora, and Dominic Reyes. And also congratulations to the girls tennis team for their win over Wichita Northwest on Wednesday, 9-0.
back to Strikers Press Complex, home at your Kapaun Mt Crusaders. We're coming back as the Kapaun Crusaders come back on the field now. Great first half from the Kapaun Crusaders. We are down 7-10 after that last second field goal made by Northwest, but I think we're still in this game. Northwest is going to get the ball out of half, but if Kapaun gave it a defensive stop early, they're going to be in a pretty good position to come back in this game.
Yeah, I think Kapaun really needs to focus on their defense here. Northwest, as we've seen, we're almost not lucky, but fortunate that Northwest made some mistakes in the first quarter, so they didn't score, else their lead would be greater. But if Kapaun can just play solid defense, keep Jeremiah in the game.
Yeah, that's going to be a big part of the second half, is making sure that Northwest running backs and the quarterback do not get into the second level. The linebackers did a better job of, stopping runs early as we got closer to the end of the first half, but that's going to be crucial for that linebacking core to prevent runs from going to the second level.
Now on the offensive end, Kapaun has to step it up. Obviously, as we've seen, Northwest scoring threat. If Kapaun's offense, they got to make some bigger plays. They've been doing well, actually, on the running, some passes to help. They got to keep in with Northwest.
I agree. I don't think the Kapaun offense has anything wrong with that. I think that they're phenomenal. Once they get to that red zone, the nerves kind of set in, and then that's where the mistakes happen. We had that fumble from Hamilton. We had some missed opportunities, some penalties. That's just where the mistakes are happening. It's just the red zone part of the offense that's really struggling.
Yeah, and when they get to that red zone, they got to finish the job. Made it that far, might as well reward themselves for a great drive and just get in and get that touchdown. Obviously, they made a few mistakes which have stopped them from scoring, but if they can limit those mistakes and get some touchdowns, they'll stay in it with Northwest.
And going back to the Kapaun offense, the rush attack, that was by far the best part of any side of the football. Omari Elias had a phenomenal first half, closing in on 100 yards just on his own. He's doing a phenomenal job pounding the ball down the throat of Northwest.
Yeah, and then also Will Doolittle, as we've seen him getting some reps this game. Haven't seen as much from him in the first 2 games, but he's another powerful dude. Takes a lot of guys to get him down, so just looking for him to make some big plays as well.
And he's Kapaun's primary weapon when you get into those third and short, 3rd and 1 situations. And I think that's, just actually, I'm trying to rephrase this, but just Sophia, what do you think are 3 things that Kapaun needs to do on either side of the ball in order to win this game?
So number 1, just limit mistakes and penalties on either side of the ball. We've seen both offense and defensive penalties. I'd say number 2, they got to have confidence.
Exactly.
Northwest, as we lost to them last year, it's always been a team that, in the back of Kapaun's mind, we're like, I don't know if we can beat him. But they got to have that confidence. And number 3, they just got to work as a team. I think that's really important. Use every aspect. As Coach Graff always tells us for basketball, you don't want to play like a 5. You want to play like a fist. So when it's a 5, like a high 5, all the players are spread out, but when it's a fist, they're all together. So Kapaun's got to use their fist this half and hopefully come out with a win.
Just some pure wisdom from Coach Kraft.
Yeah, exactly.
He really is an icon. He really is.
He really is, honestly.
Just whenever I see him on my way to lunch, it's the best part of my day, by far.
Honestly, just brightens everyone's day up.
Yeah, and he's a great basketball coach as well.
I know, exactly. Stay tuned, for later, after football season. Of course, we're here now, but gotta come watch Coach Graff. So, Coach Graff, if you're watching, shout out to you. I hope you enjoyed this little segment.
Yeah, you always tell us that we need to talk about you. So
we got you.
We got you. We did it.
Uh-huh.
We did it. Mm-hmm. So I better get in front of everyone at lunch on Monday.
Honestly.
Yeah, we should be able to cut the line.
Exactly.
Anyway, back to football. My top 3 things, I'm going to agree with you on number 1. You got to limit those mistakes, both on offense and on defense. We saw a secondary commit way too many penalties. Mm-hmm. Holding, PI, we can't have that happen. And I think number 2 is going to be maintaining that rushing attack. We had a solid thing going in the first half. You have to keep that going. You have to maintain that threat. Third thing, I think is going to be just finishing things off, like you said earlier. I mean, Kapaun's been able to get inside the 20, inside the 10 even, and then something happens, and it just goes. It just goes wrong. So, I mean, being able to finish things off is going to be vital for the Kapaun offense.
And now just 20 seconds until second half will start. Thank you guys for watching our little halftime segment. We're going to continue with the game.
And here we go. Kapaun's going to be kicking off, and it looks like Isaac Smith's back on to kick off for Kapaun Mt. Carmel.
It's getting loud in here, Gabe. Got some music going, student section, getting excited.
And like we said, this drive might be one of the most important in the game. If Northwest gets something going early, that's going to spell really bad news for Kapaun. But if Kapaun's defense can stop as a kickoff goes way over the head of Lopez, that's going to bring up a touchback
into the end zone touchback.
And a 1st and 10 for the Northwest Cruiserweights.
Northwest takes over.
As I was
1st
saying,
and 10.
this drive, I mean, if Kapaun can get that defensive stop early on and get good field position to set up the offense, that is going to be a huge momentum shifter.
It really is important, as you were saying, because just think about it. Northwest scores here. They have all the momentum, and then it's hard for Kapaun's offense to be able to carry that weight. So the defense has to do their job here.
As Moore, right out of the gate, has a keeper, and he gets the bounce on the outside as Nathan Fury chases him out of bounds.
Jeremiah Moore on the quarterback.
Looks like he's going to get to about the Northwest 32-yard line for another 1st and 10.
In of 13 on the play.
And
1st and 10.
You know, Northwest coming out with a more attacking kind of scheme here. I mean, they have trips to this near sideline. They still have Phillips in the backfield, so Kapaun can't really pick and choose what they want to, kind of defend against. As a defensive line stop, and, kind of limits O.J. Phillips to about a 2-yard gain.
Nathan
And
Fury
here's
on
the
the
thing
tackle.
when Northwest is using the trips here. You can't leave anyone open. So that just great tackle there.
By Isaac Smith to limit that Lopez bubble screen
to Lopez.
to about a gain of 1.
But as I was saying, you can't leave anyone open, like, regardless.
By
So
a trio
with
of
Northwest
defenders.
spreading it out, it hopefully creates
3rd down.
more gaps for the quarterback, their running back, to be able to get downfield.
And we talked about getting a stop early. This is going to be the first opportunity Kapaun has as Northwest facing a 3rd and 7 at their own 36-yard line with about 11 minutes left to go. And the third quarter score is 7-10 Northwest. Moore takes the snap, looks to the far sideline, pressure coming, and misses a tackle. But it's going to be brought down by Nathan Fury.
Moore on the scramble, brought down.
Moore looked a little bit lost there. I mean, he kind of started
moving.
moving laterally, which, you might want to do to make a cut or something, but if you move laterally for too long, that gives the defense an opportunity to grab you and make a stop. And that's exactly what the Kapaun defense did. Is now 4th and 5. It looks like Moore is going to be punting.
Yeah, Nathan Fury bringing some energy. It's great to see at the start of the half. You got to come out strong.
And something unique about the Northwest system is Moore is also the punter, and this time he punts. But what I was going to say is that he is the quarterback. So, I mean, it's not too uncommon for him to, take that punter snap and then just drop back and throw.
On the return.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's hard, for Kapaun. They got to expect both the punt and a possible pass downfield. Obviously, right now, as we saw, it's just the beginning of the second half. Chances are Northwest isn't going to try to do a trick play, but
from the 32.
something to look out for.
As Isaac Smith's return gets the Kapaun offense to about their own 32-yard line. And now Hamilton hands off to Elias right out the gate, and Elias gets that far sideline, has open field, making one man to beat, and is brought down at about the Northwest 35-yard line. An absolutely monumental play by the sophomore to kick off second half.
Amari Elias.
1st and 10, Kapaun.
Popping off, just owning it.
He has had a phenomenal
Inside
night
the
so
30.
far, and that carry brings him well over 100 yards personally. And it looks like Rudy's going to come to him after that long carry. And he is not going to get the handoff, and it looks like Hamlin's going to keep him for himself. And he's kind of pushed forward to about the Northwest 25-yard line, 22-yard line, excuse me. And that's going to be about a gain of 6.
Gain of 6, 2nd and 4.
Hamilton doing a good job reading there, waited till the last second to decide if he was going to keep it or give it to Austin, and he made a great read.
Now 2nd and 4, Hamilton drops back. Handoff to Ruda is brought down in the backfield by number 56, Caden Ross from Northwest.
As you say, Gabe, one of the goals, finish it. So right here, 3rd down, got to get this first down, and they need a touchdown.
And you know, if I'm Sharks, I'm not looking for a big play here. I mean, they are in Northwest territory, so they might just be looking for maybe a 4-yard, 5-yard play. But Ruda's going to beat all of that and get about 6 yards. But see, now he's in the territory where you want to go for 4th downs. But it looks like they're not going to have to do that as Ruda just takes it for himself and gets the first down for Crusaders. Or, excuse me, referee signals no first down.
Looks like they're gonna
have 4th and inches here.
Timeout.
But officials are gonna take a timeout here to confer. And the Whitecap overturns the call, and it's gonna be first down for the Crusaders. Now, going back to what you said, inside the 20-yard line, this is where Kapaun needs to finish the job. As Hamilton comes down the I formation, handoff to Elias up the middle. Elias
he's in.
Going to the end zone. A 19-yard touchdown carry for the sophomore Mario Elias. I mean, that drive had a Mario Elias all over it.
19 yards on the
I mean, a near 45-yard carry out of the gate, and he finishes off with a near 20-yard carry to take it into the end zone. That, of course, gives Kapaun back the lead, now up 13-10, and Isaac Smith's now coming on.
Elias just almost single-handedly got that touchdown for Kapaun, just drove it down the field. Some great runs and able to finish it off.
Schmidt's kick up and no good.
Kick is no good. Deflected at the line.
Looks like it was deflected by one of the Northwest defensive linemen.
8:36 left in the 3rd.
Score's going to remain at 13-10.
Northwest
But
10.
the only thing that matters is Kapaun's got a 3-point lead.
I mean, that's great. That's great for their confidence, as I was saying, for one of my 3 points. And now the defense, just has to have the offense back. Make some big plays again, get some stops, and Kapaun should be good.
It looks like the cheerleaders are going to get the student section saying this fight song. And, I mean, there's nothing that gets the Kapaun Carmel Crusaders going like their own fight song.
Michael Lopez back deep.
Isaac Smith's on the kick
for
now.
Northwest.
He is now at 10 touchbacks on the season. Let's see if he can make it 11 here. And he won't. Or excuse me, referee down.
Into the end zone.
Lopez in the end zone.
Grizzlies will
touchback.
start 1st and 10 from their 20.
8:36 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Score is 13-10 if you're just now joining us. As Northwest Grizzlies will have a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Now Grizzlies here probably pretty mad about that touchdown they just gave up for Kapaun. So you're going to see, I bet, a lot of the rushing threat here with Moore, Thompson, Phillips trying to get downfield and score as well.
And we didn't see a lot of Phillips last drive. He had a couple carries that went for short gains as he tossed to Phillips. Speaking of double, goes for another short gain. And I know, Sophia, I agree with you that Northwest is going to try to pound the ball, but they just can't do it. The Kapaun defensive line is not allowing it.
Yeah, the defensive line has really stepped it up this half. They noticed, I'm sure, in halftime, that's key. If they can stop the run.
And now Moore able to break into the open field. Gets past Shibley. And now runs out of bounds to save himself from a hit from Isaac Smith.
Into Crusader territory.
That's a big rush attack right there. That takes, Grizzlies into, their own territory, into Kapaun territory now at the spot at the 49-yard line of Kapaun.
1st and 10,
and it's important. The secondary has to have the lines back. Line is going to try to run in there, tackle the runners. And
excuse me, as Phillips charges over for about a gain of 8 on the play. What were you saying, Sophia?
I was just saying how the secondary needs to help the defensive line. Those guys are working hard trying to get past the Northwest offensive line. Secondary has to have their backs.
And here we go as Kapaun looking like a dime, excuse me, not a dime package, a nickel package is what I meant to say. And now Moore takes up the middle for himself and gets the first down and then some. Pushes forward to about the Kapaun 35-yard line.
By Rin.
Moore really
Gain on the
just,
play is good enough for
if he
Grizzly
needs
first
to take
down. First
over,
and 10.
he will take over. I've seen in this drive, he's just been having a
Number
lot of
36.
QB keeps. And he's a quick guy. He has the ability to make some plays.
John Paul ran on that last tackle as a Phillips carry is
Hand up to Phillips.
ended early by
Nathan Fury
a
on the
combination of
tackle.
Turner and Nathan Fury.
Gain of a couple, 2nd and 8.
It's going to give the Northwest Grizzlies a 2nd and 8 at the Kapaun 34-yard line. Moore fakes the handoff, keeps for himself up the middle. Able to hit the hole, but stumbles and is only able to get about 4 yards on the play. Moore really had a good opportunity there to hit that
On the
hole,
play,
but
tackled
was a little
by-
too tight and he kind of stumbled out of it.
Yeah,
John
still
Paul ran.
able to get a couple of
It is
yards
3rd and 3.
there. And now Northwest hoping to get this first down on this play.
Trips to the far sideline, and Moore has 2 running backs, one on either side. Kapaun nearly called there for encroachment, but it looks like Northwest is going to keep trying to hit that hard count. And now Thompson has a big hole up the middle, eventually brought down by Ruda, and it looks like to be
That pitch
Schmitz.
goes to Thompson.
Just see a little sweep there, using the wide receivers to block out, and then
Spitz on the
the
tackle.
offensive line to block in, so that just creates a gap.
Moore hands off to Phillips, who once again is limited to about a 1 or 2 yard gain. And you know, I mean, Moore and
LJ
Thompson have had
Phillips,
successful drives running the ball so far, but
for
Kapaun is
Northwest.
doing a great job of limiting Phillips' productivity.
Adrian
Yeah, I
Turner.
mean, they're working hard this
And others
drive.
on the tackle that
Obviously
time for
tiring with the quick pace that
No
Northwest is
gain,
keeping,
2nd and
but
10.
really just trying to stop them.
Moore now, changing the set a little bit for a snap. Now Phillips, toss. Once again, ended about 1 or 2 yards after the line of scrimmage.
See if Kapaun
That
is
pitch
going to
went
be
to
able
Phillips.
to,
Tackled by
maybe
Fury.
cause Northwest to make a mistake, get a stop.
Gain of
Either of
3.
those stakes would be good.
3rd and 7.
As Kapaun, faces a 3rd and 7, excuse me, Northwest faces a 3rd and 7. Kapaun trying to get a stop here. But I mean, we already saw Northwest is comfortable kicking field goals. So even if they get the stop here, they're kind of looking for maybe a loss on the play, as a Jeremiah Moore run is stopped directly at the line of scrimmage, maybe even a loss of 1.
More on the carry.
Yeah, I would assume they would
Fury
go
and
for the
Duba on
field
the carry
goal,
that
but
time.
so
on the
far,
tackle, I should say, that time. It's
looks
4th
like they
down.
might go for it.
Yeah, it looks like Suter's going to stay on the sideline.
If they don't make it, though, they'll have good defensive position. So might as well try to go get the first down.
And here we go. Jeremiah Moore takes a snap. Hand off to Thompson, or excuse me, Moore keeps it for himself and is tackled in the backfield by a whole slew of Kapaun defensive linemen.
Turnover on
Great
downs.
job. The
Moore
defensive
brought
line,
down
that
by
possession
Adrian
really just
Turner.
stayed solid.
1st and 10,
we keep
Crusaders.
talking
Able to stop him.
We keep talking about momentum shifts. That is a big momentum shift, especially for the Kapaun defense. After giving up kind of a rough drive, they're able to turn around, and now Kapaun's offense is going to have a 1st and 10 opportunity at their own 15-yard line to start subbing off.
Yeah, really seeing the team starting to work together, defense and offense, playing off of each other's momentum.
As a Hamilton handoff to Elias goes for about a gain of 3. I mean, it looks like the defender kind of had Elias's foot there, and he couldn't get it free.
Handoff to Elias.
Kapaun
Center of the
looking
Grizzly
to
line on the
extend the
stop that
lead here,
time.
up
Gain
by
of 2,
3.
2nd and 8.
If they can get another touchdown here, able to make it a 2-possession game.
And that would be pretty crucial. And, if I'm Kapaun and I do score a touchdown, I mean, Sharks might go for 2. I mean, that gives them, an 11-point lead versus a 10-point lead. But we'll see. That's in the future, hopefully. As a Hamilton snap goes to Elias once again as he hurdles a man.
Amari Elias. You can see the athleticism he has. Able to read the defense. He just
Just shy
hurdled
of
a
a
guy.
first down.
no one can bring him down. I mean, he's unstoppable.
3rd and short.
3rd and 1 now for the Kapaun Crusaders at the Kapaun 24-yard line.
Heidelberg on the tackle.
And, you know, I think we might see a Will Doolittle fullback dive here. I mean, after Elias kind of worked it up to the 3rd and 1 situation, I think we might be seeing, you know, our big guy, Will Doolittle.
And you are right, Gabe.
As he stumbles forward for more enough for the first down. About a gain of 5 on the play. Looks like the ball's going to be placed at the Kapaun 30-yard line.
Will Doolittle.
Nice and easy, just quick handoff there. Able to get that first down and keep the momentum going. Just under 3 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Kapaun up 13-10.
Looks like Shart's trying to burn some time here. Really thinking about what he wants to do with this next play.
They're really in no rush, considering they have the lead. Just got to keep things slow and steady.
As Hamilton comes down the I formation once again, and our handoff to Elias, who hits the hole perfectly and breaks a few tackles and gets to about
the
Kapaun 38-yard line for a gain of 8.
He was brought down.
I'm going to be interested to see, Gabe, Amari Elias' stats after this game.
I mean, we have our statistician back there. I mean, he already said he's over 100 yards, healthily over 100 yards. So I am, too, excited to see what he does. He already has a touchdown as well.
Really showing out for the first home game.
Hamilton gets a call from Sharts, and it looks like he's lining up now with his offense. Takes a snap and hands off to Will Doolittle, who refuses to go down. And what looked to be a loss may have been a gain of 1 now.
Gabe, thinking about the coaches here, Sharts kind of made a change, brought Bird and Spicer to offense. Sharts likes to change things up, keep things fresh, you know, have different minds, like look at things different ways. So I think that really helps, you know, Kapaun stay fresh and new.
Here we go, 3rd and 2 for the Kapaun Crusaders as Elias gets the handoff and is brought down on what appears to be short
Elias
of the marker.
He was swung down by Tucker Ross.
It's going to be placed at the 39-yard line, and that indeed will be 1 yard short. Let's see what Sharts decides to do. He brings Hamilton over to the sideline.
Maybe a QB sneak, who knows? Just giving it to Will Doolittle has been working well, though.
And you know, a big reason this Kapaun rush attack has been going so phenomenally is that Kapaun offensive line, entirely seniors, and is just phenomenal. As Will Doolittle,
there we go,
able to break a tackle and stumbles forward for that good game that we needed.
1st and 10 at the 43.
Will Doolittle doing a great job of holding onto the ball there. I mean, that's really important. Obviously, don't want to give up any fumbles. See, Kapaun probably looking to run out the clock as it's nearing the end of the 3rd quarter.
Now bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter, as you said, and it's going to be a 13-10 score going into the 4th.
And that's the end of the 3rd period of play. We're going to the 4th.
After being down by 3 at the half, Kapaun's now up 3. And that's exactly what we wanted to do at halftime. And so, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, it was a great 3rd quarter, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Mario Elias really showing what he has and what he can do under the lights.
Yeah, I like what we saw here, the 3rd quarter coming out of halftime. Obviously, you know, Sharts probably made some adjustments, fine-tuned some things. And, you know, the players, too, you can just see more energy, more excitement. I think that's really important in football games, especially, you know, for the future football games. They have a feeling of what it's like to have this momentum and, you know, play as a team. So I think that's great.
That being said, the win isn't secured yet. They still got a whole nother quarter of football to play. And we're going to start that quarter of football with a 1st and 10 at the Kapaun 43-yard line.
Kapaun just needing to stay steady. You know, keep the rush attack going. You know, with Elias, he's doing great.
And it looks like Elias and Dewitt are going to get a breather here on the sideline as senior Austin Ruda and sophomore Chrisman are now in. And neither of them are going to get the football as Hamilton
keeps on the option play.
Yeah, another good read there by Hamilton.
Gain of 4, it's second and 6.
Gain of 4 and it's 2nd and 6 now for the Crusaders.
It's like Elias coming back on the field in for Ruda.
As well as Doolittle. Hamilton talking to his running backs for approaching the line.
Still in an I formation.
With Henry Thingvall as near sideline as a handoff to Elias. Is stopped in the backfield. It's going to be about a loss of 3 on the play.
Mario Elias wrapped up
Elias finding there, but one of Northwest
3rd and 8.
linemen able to catch his foot.
It looks like Capen's going to be facing a 3rd and 8 at their own 45-yard line.
Maybe looking for a passing play. Not sure here, though, because our running backs have been able to get this yardage.
Exactly. I mean, a halfback draw to Elias may not be the worst option. But indeed, Hamilton drops back. Pass to Thingvall is caught at what looks to be right at the marker.
To Thingvall, shy of a first down. It's 4th and 1.
And it looks to be just shy.
Said they go for it. They've been being really successful on the 4th and 1 conversion.
And I mean, they are now in Northwest territory, and it looks like Hamilton's going to be staying on the field with his men. 4th and inches. Give it to Doolittle, and he stumbles forward for the first.
There he goes.
Hand off to Will Doolittle.
Capen offense once again marching on the northwest side of the field. Now 1st and 10 at the Northwest 46-yard line.
At the Grizzly 46.
It's like Chrisman coming in to give Doolittle a little break here.
Hamilton once again coming out in the I formation. And the handoff to Elias goes up the middle. And he's brought down after a gain of 2. And you know, even if they are gains of 2, 3, and 4, that's what Capen needs. They need to keep the running game going because
gain of 2,
I mean, it's
2nd and 8.
important for them to run out the clock. I mean, that is the #1 priority for Capen now. They have the lead. Under 10 minutes left to play, they need to run clock.
Yeah, and if, as you're saying, if they don't run the clock, Northwest has an opportunity, and they've been known in the past to capitalize on those opportunities. So it's not in favor of the Crusaders to let Northwest get the ball back.
And you know, with the 40-second play clock, they're looking at least getting that clock down to the 7-minute mark as Elias takes a run for about 8 yards. And it looks to be setting up the Crusaders for a 3rd and inches.
Murray Elias on the carry.
Excuse me, looks like they're going to mark him at the 44-yard line, which brings a 3rd and 1 opportunity for Capen.
Gain of 7 on the play. It's 3rd and 1.
But as I was saying, I mean, you're bringing them within 7 minutes. And so, I mean, that's almost ideal because, I mean, drives typically take, 4 to 5 minutes. So, I mean, that's giving Northwest an opportunity, but also giving Capen the ball back with at least 2 minutes left to play.
And especially if Capen is able to get a touchdown here, they would be up, make it a 2-possession game, so it would be tougher for Northwest.
And Elias takes the handoff and gets that near sideline. 1 man to beat. And is brought down. Northwest defense did a good job of swarming them. But that's going to be another 13-yard
1st and 10
monster carry
at the
from
Grizzly 14.
One thing I've noticed, Northwest starting to struggle here on the defensive end. They lost one of their key senior players from last year, Todrick McGee, who's now at Missouri State. So obviously when you have that great of a player, it's hard to impact playing or hard to play without it.
Elias going to come off the field now, and Austin Ruda coming on. And Capen has a 1st and 10 opportunity at their opponent's 14-yard line. Now, like we said, this is going to be crucial.
Kapaun has to be able to finish drive, and Austin Ruda takes in for 14 yards out. He does exactly that.
Ruda finding the gap, getting the touchdown.
And you know, that's exactly what senior Austin Ruda's role is, to come off the sideline and get those big spark plays. And that's exactly what he does, and takes it to the house for 6.
So now Kapaun up by 9. Hopefully Isaac able to make this field goal here to make it a 10-point lead.
Of course, Austin Ruda, after getting that in the end zone, is going to be on the hold. And you know, Kapaun's field goal unit is going to have to do a better job blocking, and that's exactly what they do, as that field goal is up and good.
That kick is good. 7:28 to go. Kapaun 20, Northwest 10.
Great energy out here. Kapaun sideline going crazy, just hype for Ruda to get that touchdown. And now, as I said, 10-point lead for the Crusaders. Also, the student section very excited for Kapaun getting that lead.
Grizzlies.
Kapaun about to take the field to kick off. Here they go, Isaac Schmidt hoping to get another touchback.
On for the kickoff for KMC.
Isaac Smith's, of course, phenomenal kicker. My personal favorite of the Crusaders. I mean, we don't pick favorites, but he's up there. He's up there. But he's on the kick now, and it looks like he's going to hopefully put it in the end zone. I mean, I doubt they go for a squib kick, and that's actually exactly what they go. As that kick goes out of bounds, that's going to bring the Northwest Grizzlies out to the 45-yard line.
So Kapaun here just needing to stay solid on defense, use the offense's momentum
Free kick out of bounds.
And you know,
to get a stop.
Northwest has chosen to take the ball at the 35-yard line. First down.
And you know, last drive was a long one. I mean, that took 8 minutes and 44 seconds off the game clock. And a large part of that was due to Mario Ice's play. I mean, he has 179 yards now on the game. Absolutely insane for an underclassman.
Yeah, and I mean, taking that much time off the clock is really helpful for Kapaun's defense. You know, a little less pressure here. Almost try getting the interception.
As a juggling catch ends up in the hands of Salisbury, and he's able to dodge Kapaun defenders and get a gain of about 20.
Now Northwest trying to score as quickly as possible, Gabe, so that they can kick off, get a stop, and have an opportunity to score again. But Kapaun's defense just got to stay focused and stop them.
That's what I'm saying. You know, like I said at the end of the first half, you tend to get relaxed toward the end of the game and toward the end of the half. And you can't do that. And that's exactly what the Kapaun defense is proving they're not doing by getting that stop right there.
Jeremiah Moore on the keeper.
Jeremiah Moore to about 2 yards. Second and 8 now for the Northwest Grizzlies.
Gain of 2, second and 8.
Sit at Kapaun's 39-yard line. Under 7 minutes left to play now. Score 20-10.
The energy in the stadium is going up.
As a Phillips toss is stopped by the Kapaun linebackers. Nathan Fury was the first one to get there.
Takes the pitch.
Great stop by Nathan being able to be there. So Phillips wasn't able to get any more yards.
4.
Moore facing a 3rd and 4, muffles the snap. And that pass goes to absolutely nobody. Some contact on the play.
Incomplete.
But it looks like there's no flag thrown. That's going to bring up 4th down for the Grizzlies, and they're almost forced to go for it here.
Intended for Brown.
They really have to, Gabe.
4.
I mean, as the clock is ticking down, just over 6 minutes left to go.
And as the Kapaun defense prepares for the biggest play of the game, almost, the Kapaun student section goes absolutely wild, and it works. As a Jeremiah Moore pass goes almost 3 yards above his receiver Bell's head.
Crusaders take over on downs.
Kapaun defense getting a nice stop there.
At their 36-yard line.
Setting up the offense nicely just to take their time they don't have to get anything. They're already up. So just taking their time,
And you
keep
know what?
with the rushing threat.
As we said, there's 6 minutes left to play. The last drive took 8 minutes and 44 seconds off the clock. So that's comfortably within what Kapaun can do. And, you know, that was great coverage there by Kapaun secondary. I mean, Northwest is almost forced to pass. I mean, they're a rushing team, so when they're forced to pass, Kapaun secondary was there to step it up, and they didn't allow anything. I mean, besides that juggling catch, but that's hard to defend at any time of day. And now Elias able.
Hand up to Amari Elias.
Sharts with a lot of experience, just in general, but with these end game scenarios, he knows exactly what to do. You know how to chew the clock down, play smart.
And Elias comes up limping, able to walk himself to the sideline, and he's going to head over to the bench. Definitely a significant loss for Kapaun.
Yeah, hopefully Elias is all right.
But it looks like he's able to get 3 yards in that last carry, and that sets up Kapaun for about a 2nd and 7. And I will say Elias is standing on the sideline. Doesn't appear to be in too much pain, so he should be okay. As Austin Ruda carry gets another 3 to 4 yards and sets up Kapaun in good position with a 3rd and 5.
Yeah, Ruda able to keep his feet there, getting a little tripped up, but able to get a few more yards.
Tackled by Morford. Timeout.
Timeout
Wichita
taken
Northwest.
by Wichita Northwest
Their
High
first
School.
timeout of
That's
the
going to be their
half.
first timeout of the half.
Northwest, in order for them to have a chance, really honestly need Kapaun to make a mistake.
At 3:10 and
I mean, even then,
it's
going to be tough for them to get
the freshman
at
volleyball team
least
for
10
going
points,
undefeated and
but,
winning the Heights Freshman Invitational.
you know, all
The
they can
JV
hope for
volleyball
is to
team
stay
for
solid,
second
you know,
at the Winfield
Kapaun
tournament
maybe
last
to make a
Saturday.
mistake
Varsity
and see what
volleyball
they can do with that.
Also won this week
And you
over
know,
Wichita South.
we talked about the mistakes at halftime. That was one thing that Kapaun really needed to focus on limiting, and they've done a fantastic job of doing that. I mean, they've had some bumps in the road, but they haven't really given up those lost yardage plays, such as penalties.
Also
Yeah, and I
like
think
to
it's a good
let
look
everyone
at
know
what they can
that
do
the
at their
KMC
full
administration, along with
potential,
Keisha,
when they're not
requests
making mistakes, when they're
upon the
confident,
completion
when
of
they're
this game,
playing
all fans
together.
and spectators exit the facility in an expedient manner. If you need a ride, now would be a good time to call your parents.
Amari Elias getting back onto the sideline. Looks like he's going to be okay. As a Ruda run is up into the open field. He does 30, the 20, the 10, and pushed out at the 1 yard line.
Austin
But Austin Ruda with the 39-yard carry, able to almost ice the game for Kapaun Mt. Carmel.
Man, honestly, Northwest defense didn't see it coming. They were not ready. They got relaxed, and there's Austin Ruda.
Into the red zone.
Like we said earlier, that is
First
Ruda's
and goal
role.
from
He's
the
able to
4.
come off the sideline and get those humongous plays that Kapaun needs. And excuse me, that's going to be brought back to a 38-yard carry. And the referee's going to signal it's at the 2-yard line instead of the 1.
Austin Ruda, just a playmaker in general, is just a great aspect to Kapaun's team, both on the offensive
First and
end
goal
and the
from the 2.
defensive end.
And now Amari Elias back in the game. Ruda definitely getting a breather after that as Amari Elias takes it in for 2 yards and the score.
Touchdown, Crusaders!
And that touchdown,
Amari
dare I
Elias.
say it, brings the Kapaun lead to almost unreachable heights for the Northwest Grizzlies.
It would have to take a miracle. I mean, like, something we've never seen before for Northwest to come back.
And I mean, the Kapaun players just eating this drive up. They are beyond ecstatic.
And it looks like Sharts taking a
Kapaun takes their
timeout.
first timeout of the second half.
And you know, this isn't horrible. I mean, his players are tired after a big drive, and the clock's already stopped, so there's no harm in taking a timeout and just, taking a few extra seconds to talk to your players, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, obviously just got to finish out the game and just keep pushing, and they should be good.
And the Kapaun student section chanting, "We want Carroll." And I think this Kapaun team does want Carroll. I mean, after beating, the big question coming into this week was, after Carroll beat Northwest, if Kapaun could do it as well. And if Kapaun was on the level that Northwest and Carroll are, and I think this game proves that they are.
And there, the field goal made by Isaac
Extra point by
Schmitz.
Schmitz is good.
Schmitz, after missing the PAT
Yeah,
earlier,
extra
he's not going to let that happen again, able to make the next two.
Northwest 10.
Student section fired up. Gabe, I can't remember Kapaun beating Northwest for a long time. I mean, it's been a while.
It's been a long time since we've even had the talent to be able to beat Northwest. Or
Yeah.
any team on the level that Northwest is.
Last year, you know, looking good. Our team was very talented, just wasn't able to, you know, be able to beat Northwest, and it's great to see that Kapaun able to do it this year.
And you know, one reason I personally think that Kapaun struggled last year in the playoffs against Northwest is that, you know, former quarterback Andrew Domino threw that pick right before halftime, and Northwest turned that into a last-second field goal. This time around, when, you know, Kapaun gave the ball back with a little bit too much time, and Northwest turned it into a field goal to give them the lead heading into halftime. But instead of, you know, going into the locker room disappointed, the Crusaders went into the locker room optimistic and came out swinging as a Lopez run back nearly goes yard. But he's going to be brought down at about
Lopez
the
on the return.
the Northwest 46-yard line.
He was
And,
tripped
I
up
mean,
by
that is a
Jackson
big
Canyon.
play, but Northwest is going to need a lot more than that to come back from a 17-point lead.
Yeah, and as you were saying, Gabe, about, you know, Kapaun learned from last year, and so it's obviously they're just able to improve, able to become
Grizzlies
better
first and 10 at the
in
46.
total as a program.
4-3.
And
Please set the game clock to 4 minutes and 37 seconds. 4-3-7. Thank you.
it looks like the referee wants 15 seconds added on to the game clock. And, you know, like we said, the Northwest Grizzlies are going to run here with Thompson, which is not what we were expecting. As Shibley able to bring down Thompson, and that was a big play for Shibley. Once again, coming up with a big play after, you know, a few
Running back was Thompson.
mistakes, as we like to say in the first
Tripped
half.
And Northwest is
Shibley,
trying to keep it
first and
going
10.
here.
And now Phillips trying to get on the action, brings the ball to about the Kapaun 25-yard line for a gain of about 4.
And the
Phillips
defense,
on the
Kapaun,
carry.
got to make sure, as we
Tralia
keep
on
saying,
the
they
tackle.
can't relax.
Gain of 3,
I know
second and
we got a
7.
big lead, 17 points, but still, in closer game situations, you got to be able to play through the end.
As Moore drops back the pass, and that's not even going anywhere. That's going straight into the turf as Isaac Smith was there on the coverage. And it looks like Salisbury
pass
was the intended
incomplete.
receiver.
Isaac Schmitz on the defense. It's third down.
3rd and 7 now
7.
for Moore and the Grizzlies. And now a handoff to Thompson. Thompson able to find some space, and it's going to be brought down about the Kapaun 4-yard
And
line.
off to Thompson.
Nearing the end zone, great
Tackle by
run
Dominic
there by
Shibley.
Thompson. I mean, Northwest's not going to give up.
Grizzly
Just
first
going
down.
to
It's
try to
first
get a
and
touchdown
goal
play by play.
at the
And
7.
excuse me, it looks like Northwest Grizzlies are going to have a first and goal at the 7-yard line as Moore hands off to Thompson, who is stopped for no gain. Great stop there by the Kapaun defensive line with just under 4 minutes left to play now.
Phillips, the ball carrier. Tackle by Fury.
The Grizzlies are going to have to get something going. I mean, the run game is successful for them as Moore is going to be able to get in the end zone there.
Touchdown Grizzlies. Jeremiah Moore.
And as I was
on
saying,
the
I mean, that was a good
quarterback
drive, but they ran it a lot. I mean, that's what they have to do because they're a running team, but that takes way too much time off the clock.
Yeah, in Northwest, they really just pounded it, just went for it. And I think that's important for teams sometimes. You got to play like there's
On
no
the try,
time
the
on the
extra
clock.
point, Braden Suter.
And Suter now on to kick the extra point.
More on the hold.
You know, I'm somewhat surprised that Northwest isn't going for the the 2-point conversion.
Assuming they're going to go for
Kick is good. 3:27
I guess it wouldn't
to
matter
go.
because
It's
Kapaun was up by 17.
27.
That was my bad.
Northwest
I thought they
17.
were up by 16.
probably go. I don't know if Northwest will just
It wouldn't
normally
ma-
kick it off, or they
yeah.
could go for an onside. But
They're pretty confident in their kicker. I feel like they would stick with the extra point.
yeah,
Um,
and not a lot of time left for them to do anything as Kapaun is up by 10 now.
As we mentioned
And
before,
speaking of
after
extra
the
point,
game,
that extra point is
we
good,
all
so that brings the
would
score
like all
now
fans
to
and spectators
27
to exit the
to
facility
17.
and
Kapaun up, of course,
expedient
with
I'd like to
3:27
also
left to play. in
invite
the
everyone
game.
to be good citizens by picking up your trash in your area.
Looks like Coach Byrne, Coach Spicer
Northwest kickoff.
preparing
By
Kapaun
Suter.
I mean,
for anything.
because I mean, Elias, of course, back to return
Elias
the
back
kickoff
in.
if it gets to him. But I mean, if you're Kapaun, you're expecting Northwest to want to do an onside kick. And you know, you see Suter kind of lining up more at an angle, and so I mean that is a telltale sign that they're going for an onside kick. Let's see what they do. Last minute substitution for Northwest.
We'll see what happens here.
As now the kicker gives the signal. Squib kick. And it looks like
Jackson Daniel with the catch,
Yes.
the freshman.
I mean, that's got to feel great if you're the freshman, you know, able
Fielded by
to at least
Jackson
say that you were a
Daniel.
key
First
part
and
in
10,
securing the
Kapaun.
win for the Crusaders.
Exactly.
On the
Assuming
40-yard
Gabe,
line.
Kapaun, that's going to run the clock down.
Exactly. That's all they need to do. I mean, Kapaun is going to have to work with, you know, getting a couple first downs. I mean, they need at
Please
least
put
one
the game
first
clock
down.
to 3:22. 3:22.
Keep extending the game clock here,
Yeah,
Gabe.
and this time, that's another solid 14 seconds, or 15 seconds, excuse me. As Crusaders once again coming out in the I formation. But like I said, if you get one first down, I mean, you almost have the win secured. 2 would be great because Northwest, of course, still has 2 timeouts to play with.
Kapaun ball carrier Mari Elias tackled that time by
And it looks like Shart's going to take,
Northwest.
No, Northwest is going to take it.
excuse me,
Time down to
Northwest
half.
is taking a timeout.
tackled by Corbin Verduzzo.
So Kapaun just going
Loss
to
on the
pound
play
the
of
ball, keep
1
running.
after the
It's been
timeout
working
will
great
be
for them this game, as we've
second
seen with
and
Amari
11
Elias.
for KMC.
And, you know, Mario Elias, he got tackled for a loss that one play, but gives Kapaun Crusaders second and 11, but that's one of the few times he's been tackled in the backfield. But, you know, he's had a phenomenal game. Over 108 yards, 2 touchdowns to his name. I mean, he's got to be feeling great as an underclassman.
Yeah, and then Northwest defense, they just got to finish out the game. You know, stay solid, try to control Kapaun's offense. Obviously, if they can get a stop, if they can cause a fumble, cause a mistake, I mean, that's great for them.
I mean, that's all you can do. I mean, you got to play solid defense and hope for the best. That's all you can ask the team to do. Hamilton under center. And gets the defense to jump off sides.
Had at least 3 or 4 of them.
Encroachment. Defensive line. Northwest.
That's
5-yard penalty.
going to be
Still
5
second down.
yards and gives Kapaun now a 2nd and 6. And that's a great job by the sophomore quarterback
Second
to
and
trick
6.
and convince Northwest defense to jump off sides.
Yeah, and the offensive line staying still.
Now Hamilton. Handoff to Elias, who fights for it for a couple yards, and that brings the 3rd down to now 33.
Elias the ball carrier.
Yeah, Kapaun wanting to get this first down
Jacob
here
King on the
so they
tackle for
can
Northwest.
continue to chew off the clock.
3rd and a long 2.
And I will say that penalty did stop the clock for at least a couple seconds. So now 2:45 left to play in the game, and Kapaun's still up by 10, 27-17.
Kapaun just using the time they have.
And now Hamilton, once again in the I formation. Handoff goes to Elias. Elias able to get to the outside
First down.
and fights for about 5 yards and the first.
Omari Elias, first down, Crusaders.
And it looks like Northwest is going to hold on to the last
Aiden
time out.
Ross on the tackle that time for Northwest. 1st and 10 from the 49.
And it looks like the Crusaders are going to wind this down to the 2-minute warning. I mean, I don't know what else to say except Kapaun Crusaders came out fighting in the second half, and it looks like they've secured the win here in the 4th.
Yeah, the players pumped up. I mean, As we said with losing last year, this is just great. It's just great to be able to get that revenge.
And it looks like a Mario Elias carry goes for about
Elias
a yard.
Carry for Kapaun.
This sets up a 2nd and 9.
Birch in the middle of
at
the
the
northwest line of
Northwest
the tackle.
48.
Gain of 1, 2nd and 9.
We'll see just winding down.
And I mean, this is pretty much all that's left in the game is just milk that clock and then give the ball back, or potentially don't even give the ball back to Northwest with as little time as possible.
Gabe, so this half, Kapaun really came out strong, you know, able to get the lead and just kept extending it and just obviously using the rushing threat as
And
Elias.
Elias hugs the far sideline and takes it in the end zone. The Northwest defenders just gave up and gave him
Elias's third touchdown.
a 48-yard touchdown run, puts him healthily over 200 yards.
Man,
240 yards and 3 touchdowns for the underclassmen. I mean, and look at him out there. He's spinning around. He can't have a better experience here tonight.
great outing for the first home game.
And I mean,
Elias.
Sharts, we all know that Sharts came to him before the game and said, hey, you're an underclassman, but you're going to have to step up. And that's exactly what he did. He delivered when his team needed him the most. And Isaac Smith's PAT makes the lead now. 17, and that secures the win. I mean, 58 seconds left. Kapaun's up 34-17. There is absolutely nothing the Northwest can do.
34.
The energy for the
Northwest
players,
17.
the coaches, the parents, the students, the fans, everyone just pumped up.
And as the Northwest fans head to the parking lot, it looks like Kapaun's kicking unit's going to come back onto the field for one last kickoff. And I mean, I'm happy.
I am too, Gabe. I mean, this is awesome. Like,
I mean, everyone was doubting Kapaun coming into this game, and they delivered a almost perfect performance. Maybe not in the first half, but the second half, you could not have asked more from the Kapaun offense and defense.
it's looking promising for their future too, you know? Third game of the season, and they're just doing so well.
And kickoff goes to Bell. Now trying to get something to go long, but it's just not going to happen as Theory and Chrisman able to bring him down and around the Northwest 27-yard line.
52 seconds left to go. Kapaun up 34-17.
First and 10 Northwest.
And Matthew Kemp able to go get that tee and bring it back to the sideline.
Hear the Kapaun student section chanting, "I believe that we will win."
As a Northwest carry from
Jace Glasper, number 5, now in at quarterback for Northwest.
the new quarterback. Looks like Moore is going to spend the rest of the game on the sideline.
Second and 10.
Yeah.
As under
Glasper,
30,
the sophomore.
under 30 seconds to go, a Phillips run is looking dangerous, but is no. He's going to break a big gain, but eventually brought down by, looks to be Henry Thingvall. He was able to break a lot of Kapaun defenders there. It looks like Northwest is going to take their final timeout. Or no, excuse me, they're not. They're going to let the clock roll. I mean, not a whole lot you can do, but as the clock ticks to 0.
Oh, it's a deep end intercepted by Isaac Schmitz.
Picks off the sophomore quarterback. And as we say, Sophia, he can kick, he can pick, and he can get the 6.
Let's go. Isaac Schmitz.
With 6 seconds left, Isaac Schmitz able to secure the game with the last-second interception in the end zone. And I mean, it's got to feel great to be on that field in blue.
Man, what a just outstanding performance by every single players, coaching staff. What an awesome game. Awesome win.
Just all-around effort from the game tonight. I mean, special teams, offense, defense, everything was phenomenal as a kneel from Hamilton ends the game. And the final score, 34-17. Kapaun Crusaders win, moves them to 3-0 on the season, and brings Northwest Grizzlies to 1-2.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight. I hope you guys all enjoyed the game. What a great turnout. I mean, looking forward to next week.
Me and Sophia are glad to say that we're back.
We are back.
After those first 2 weeks, we're back in streaming. Join us next week for our homecoming game against Great Bend. Of course, that's next Friday at 7 a.m. See you next week, guys.
Thank you.